Om Shanti. Big family is good, but small is good too. Yeah. In big we feel unlimited, in small we feel intimate. No? It's benefit in both. So today is small family because time of departures and arrivals. Many, many are coming. Will be 1,000. No translation? Yes. Every language? As the word yogi is very popular, but one of the very respectful word, which is very much common, more maybe towards Eastern philosophy side, is called sadhak, sadhak. Sadhana, you know this word sadhana? Like this morning, the blessing was sadhana and sadhan. Sadhan means devices, facilities, comforts. And sadhana is actually efforts. But one who does sadhana is called sadhak. Sadhak, sadhak. Very respectful word. In India, if somebody, they say, this person is doing sadhana, is considered to be very, very elevated. So first I just want to define a little bit on what is sadhana. Sadhan you know, devices we know, comforts we know, facilities we know. But what is sadhana? It's considered to be very elevated, something very elevated. So I want to talk about 10 important aspects of sadhana. The first one is what it needed in sadhana. Sadhana is more as very focused, very concentrated, very spiritual, very dedicated. Different qualities are considered to be part of sadhana. But first most important quality in sadhana is why a person decides to do sadhana is true love for the self. When this true love for the self emerges, even without knowing the self, but I want to make myself elevated, I want to be pure, I want to have higher purpose in life, I want to have good aim in life. And this comes from the feelings which emerge for the self, like true love for the self. So love is first most important quality of a sadhak or for sadhana. You clear with these two words? Can I use these two words now? Or I need to use English word? Because there's not I can use English word, but it's not exactly one word. I have to keep saying it, intense effort maker or consistent effort maker, but those could be qualities. So when the true love for the self emerges, then person decides to do something for the self. And definitely there are many paths, but one who takes to spiritual path. So word spirituality and sadhana are very related. And the second important quality is bhavana. Bhavana here is, when there is bhavana means you have pure feelings, then there is respect. Like we have bhavana, like devotees have bhavana for deities. So they will go, they will bow, very respectful to images of deities. So same is when you have bhavana towards any one, or first is for your own self. So bhavana actually means respect. Like we say, reverence of life. reverence, bhavana, 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 bhavana. So first there is love, that is love, true love for the self. Then there is pure feelings and respect for the life. Because the way some people use the life in the sense of senses, in a very, very, not only ordinary way, but in a very negative way, in body consciousness. Because they don't respect, like eyes. If you respect your eyes, what you should be saying and what you shouldn't be saying. Or if you respect your hands, that what kind of actions I should be doing. Should be always giving, helping, cooperation. But if you don't, then it's used for violence, for any wrong actions, for stealing, for whatever reason. So it's not respecting your life. When I'm saying life here, is your senses. Because one is soul's life, other is nature's life. So soul's life is like the love emerges. And in bhavana, it's like respect emerges. And from there, the third important quality in sadhana, which emerges because of the love and bhavana, third important thing is disciplines. That is why, like in bhakti, in path of devotion, they will do many days fasting and many different, Baba calls them sometimes penances, because they feel that's the way they can control their senses. But discipline about timing, discipline about eating habits, discipline about hearing, how do I use my senses? And discipline is something which is considered very high quality, I was in Bombay when I was visiting Dadiji, so there was Dr. Ashok Mehta's wife, and they are from Jain religion. So something came up and they said that they had been giving Dadi this liquid food. So one of the sisters said, but how will she get strength? And she said, it's enough, Then she was saying that how much in Jain religion, even when child is very young, they do a lot of fasting. And she was saying that if you don't eat, if you fast, or eat little, you always will be healthy. But if you eat more, you will always be sick. And she was trying to convince that how important it is to have discipline. And you must have heard that in Yagya, during Brahma Baba's time, Baba used to from time to time create certain disciplines for a while. You must have heard the story Dadi Janki, many seniors Dadis share, because I was not there and I enjoyed. And Dadi said that because let's say when food is very tasty, so food will finish fast. When it's not of their taste, a lot of food will be left. So one time Baba said for 2 months everyone had to write, I will eat 1.5 chapati or I will eat 2 chapatis. And then whatever sabji, whatever vegetables are there, because if it is left, then still here it's very easy. You have workers, laborers, extra people you can give. But in other countries, even if you put in fridge, the chemistry of food changes. So using leftovers. So, but Baba's days, it was like it has to be fresh breakfast, fresh lunch, like here. Now also, whatever we have now is what created by Brahma Baba. Shiv Baba, Brahma Baba combined, set certain rules, regulations. So discipline, like sleep in time, waking up in time. Because what happens, senses can very easily become very comfortable, Start depending on certain things, become addictive even to a point, like I know there are a lot of people do a lot of nature things and all that. And sometimes they do extremely because their habit of eating is also extreme. If you keep eating a big bar of chocolate and then you do cleansing every month, or you can't survive without chips and then I'm going now, I won't eat sugar. They say why your bhog is sweet, and they don't eat sweet bhog, but they eat a bar of chocolate. And that's not sweet, right? So I ask them, I say, but that's rajoguni, no? Okay, don't eat is all right, but you eat other stuff which has so much sugar, but it's like, no, discipline is not there. So how important it is to have discipline in life, because discipline also purifies sense organs. And it increases the capacity, the energy. If there is no discipline, your immune system is not strong. One who lives a life of discipline will have a very strong immune system. And fourth important thing which is needed for sadhana is to follow certain principles and values. Like accepting anything which is like bribery. Somebody is trying to favor you, trying to win you, please you, by giving something material to you. That's why this Baba's box, that nobody knows who puts what. So that it shouldn't happen because this one gives more or that one gives less, or no, they are souls. Whatever anyone is giving is for Baba's yajna. So certain values of truth, of honesty, of trusteeship. Some principles we know, like we say study regularly is a principle, to have good company is a principle, but there are everyday's life, you have to have certain very, very firm principles in your life. Because when you have principles, you are honest and you are truthful, then whatever comes as a situation, it doesn't upset you, it doesn't stir you, it doesn't shake you because of your honesty and truth. Because you know that that's your principle and you live by that principle. So it's a great strength and stability. Because when there is stability, and especially that stability sustains you and will sustain Baba's yajna also. But if there is lack of stability, because of lack of strength, and lack of strength because of lack of honesty, then to hold, in the sense of giving sustenance, being sustained, it becomes very, very difficult. Because our sadhana, we have two goals. One is personal, and one is for the world. First, I am doing sadhana because I want soul to be perfect, to be pure, to reach to that karmati stage. And I know that my ascending degrees of purity, my ascending degrees as I become elevated, is towards bringing benefit to the world. So my sadhana is for my own self, but my sadhana is also for the whole world. So principles which involve interactions, relationships, personal thinking, even thinking based on principles. Why should I be thinking this way? You can really subtly direct your energy in a beautiful way, whether it's thoughts, whether it's words, whether it's action, whether it's transaction, whether whatever it is. So you can actually go in details of the principles when it comes to principles. And fifth important element in sadhana actually is what we call it renunciation. What interferes my sadhana? That means, do I have enough distaste? Or still I enjoy certain things which are tamoguni or which are rajoguni, they're not pure. Whether it's conversations, whether seeing something, or so renunciation of vices is one thing, but just deep within. It's like everyone can feel that how you are away from everything. When you have distaste for something, you keep away. There is one Indian vegetable which is considered to be very nice. So once we were traveling from Chicago to New York, so there were some others. So one brother ate it and got food poisoning from that. And in the plane, he was just 2 hours, really continuously was very sick. But as soon as we know that this is vegetable being cooked, or he knows, first thing he does is keep it far. He knows that what could be the consequences. Or anything, like you taste and it's distaste, I'm talking of something physical even, you keep it far. So when Baba says distaste, in other words, vairagya, that deeply within, you are far from many, many things. You don't want to think about or get involved into it. And it's very natural. You don't have to force yourself. So renunciation is something which, because if there is lack of renunciation, it will interfere in your sadhana. And the sixth important thing connected with renunciation is simplicity. Anything, Baba mentions about expensive things like people have watches, glasses, shoes, because they can't wear expensive clothes. So they put money into these things. No? Even those who are means, if you look at glasses, they will be most expensive, or shoes will be most expensive, or watch will be, because these are 3-4 things BKs can use. No? Other things they know they have to wear white and be simple. Like, other many spiritual leaders, if you see their rings, big diamond, because where else they can use, but deeply within. I have teacher's badge, regular teacher's badge. After that, how many I got as a reward, award, whatever, token of appreciation with more gold, more gold, more gold. And every time at the end they see, you have same. I said, I don't want to wear gold on my body, whether it's in the form of badge or anything. I have little gold around teacher's badge, but not, when it's little bigger, I can't accept. I don't know why. So I have, like, for some birthdays or my 50th year, or, whenever yagya, so I just keep it. I won't wear it, because I said, no, simplicity. Brahma Baba always, if you look at how, when we go in, everything is so simple, dignified. But we're not going to put money into those things. It's a waste. Somebody gave watch to repair to one brother, and he brought back, he said, but this sister's watch is very expensive. I said, I even don't know, because I never bought a watch, so I don't know what's expensive or not. Or shoes, or bags, or purses, or things like. Overall, whole lifestyle should be so elegant and simple. Simplicity has its own beauty. Like for us, at least in my life, I have never changed my hairstyle. Never. In 49 years, never. Baba used to say, Brahma Baba, that if I wear hat and sit in meditation, then devotees will get confused. And this is not my angel. My angel had that kind of... One time, sometimes like during day, out of fun, we used to, the group from Nepal will come and bring a Nepali hat for Baba, cap for Baba. So Baba will wear it just to make them happy. And he said, I cannot change. The same kurta, same dhot, same slipper, whatever he wore forever. But today your style is this, tomorrow is this, today you walk with these glasses, tomorrow with that. They look at you, is this the same angel? Doesn't look like that. They won't recognize you. Plus, their attention will go not to the angel, but to your physical objects and appearance. That's another important thing. When you are simple, anyone will look for a second but won't look further because they have nothing to see, but have very pure feelings. But if you have anything on your body which is expensive, which is beautiful, which is obviously, even sunglasses, so people's attention will go where? On the soul or sunglasses? On the soul or on your shoe? So this is basically whether our food, whether our living, whether everything should be simple. And that's the remarkable thing is that when Baba came, Baba was, of course, was a very, he says I was poor, but very wealthy person. But whatever after renunciation he set for himself, it continues. And I always give example to people that where we go there is nothing, and now there is everything, but look at our individual life, there is no difference. I had a mattress for 23 years and same bed. So a lot of young people came in when I was in room after surgery. They said, but this is child's bed. How you sleep? So I said, I had been sleeping, I am so comfortable. They couldn't believe that this is my bed. So when I came back, they changed it, and until now I don't like it. I still go back there. Because a tapasvi, why? What I need? It should be good, it should be hard, it should be... And that's what we say, whatever comes for Baba is for Baba's service. Because each one of us are very much aware of not taking. Because I am creating again some karmic accounts, why will I accept? I am a bestower, I'm not going to accept anything. Many karmas are involved, many attachments are involved. But if you know you are a simple, this is not what you're going to use, this is what you... Some people ask me about perfumes, right? So when person enters, you don't look at person, but you smell a person. So I always say, yes, Brahma Baba, that is, Brahma Baba, use the rose water, little bit, because some smells are there and people in body consciousness, they smell differently. Little bit rose water he will sprinkle. Same as I always keep little bit rose water. Smells like, it's nice. Rose is very much connected, the flowers and purity. So as much, because when there is simplicity, you are not depending, Not only that, but in sadhana, it's a distraction. It's not only distraction for me, but distraction for someone else too. Anytime anyone's attention, you have anything, object or different attention goes there instead of your own spiritual fragrance. And then what is most important, I forgot the number, it's 7 or something. 7 is determination. Baba had recently talked, Baba always had been talking, because in sadhana you need determination. Because then otherwise this lack of sadhana means temptations. And very subtle desires, very subtle desires. And anything you do with subtle desires become bondage for you. Later on you realize that because I did it because of subtle desire, you are settling in a different way. Pure desire is different. Pure desire also, if it's desire, desire is desire. But whatever Baba wants, whatever way Baba wants, it's always that kind of feeling, keeps us very, very light. And then after that, eighth one is concentration. You must have heard any Brahma Baba's stories, but we have Avyakt Bab Dada sitting in front of us for hours. Even those who are sitting next or whatever they're saying or talking or doing, but he is busy with whatever he has to do. Very total concentration. And you see when Dadi Gulzar sits, how there's total focus, total concentration. Nothing should interfere. Whether it's 1 minute, whether it's 1 hour, whether it's now it's whole life, Because enlightenment needs some kind of focus, concentration. All, if you look at Buddha's life, how he got enlightenment. Of course, it was very strong, but he was not aware of physical world. That much concentration that I am not aware of physical world, physical situations. And then it comes, which is very important, is tapasya or power of yoga. Because for Baba's task, for my personal fulfillment, what is needed? Dadi Janki always tells us it's easy to keep paying bills and keep doing things, but if you walk in somewhere and you are a spiritual person and that person is touched, like when Dadis went to Japan, they had nothing. So this person wanted to print 50,000 posters, and all original posters came from Japan. He said, I will print and give you. It's really when there is power of yoga, God's task is only accomplished through power of yoga. Sometimes we forget, we think maybe I have this good, sadhan means we try to impress through sadhans, in the sense of, I have this means of communication, I have this or I have this. No. But sadhana means power of yoga. As much we can do everything in personal life and in service so that souls are served. Even whatever we're doing, Baba's task, is like we run organization, it's a task. But accomplishments and attainments, because what sadhana really brings is attainments and accomplishments. But they both should be based on power of yoga. And that's why when really there was a time there was nothing, but there was so much power of yoga. Last night Dadi Gulzar spent some time with us and she was saying, we have to make 8 hours of yoga. She was saying while eating, why we need to talk? 15 minutes, 20 minutes for 3-4 times. How many times you drink tea? How many times you drink water? 12, 13 times, right? Even 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, that you can get 2-3 hours, 2 hours from there. We sit and say, who cooked? It's very nice, good recipe. What's the recipe? From where you bought this seasoning? And we tell. It's not like I know in Peace Village how many times, but whenever they will sit, they want to talk. And when she talked to us, at least since morning I'm finding so different because we have to make 8 hours. She says, because as Baba's children, our power of yoga is Mansa Seva. She said, what is Mansa Seva? She said, it's power of yoga. And she was saying Mansa Seva means service through the mind. And she said it shouldn't be done towards any particular soul, but it should be. She gave example of sun. That sun never decides how much sunlight and how much sun rays should be given to whom. But sun shines. And in whatever way, whether it's for rain or whether it's for drying something. So she was saying that how much depends on us, how much depends on our power of yoga. And 10th element in sadhana, 10th one is, what is true service? That's why when people spend so much time on computer, so much time on this, but what is true service? Organization is important, management is important, this is important. But what is really true service is to serve the souls. If you sit and churn knowledge together, if you give Baba's introduction. So this is how I thought that these 10 elements in sadhana, all 10 are very important. Can you think of any other? Because as I keep thinking, for me this word sadhana and sadhak, I really relate to it very much because I believe, as I said, it's coming from love for the self and respect for the self, that you decide in your life to do sadhana. And it's important to remember this also. It's not somebody asked me, it's not under compulsion, it's not pressure, but I decided to do sadhana. So if you see that way, then as we go on, as on other side, sadhana means, because more tapasya you do, more sadhana you do, nature will provide you, people will provide you. You will get response in very positive way. But I have to say, no, this is for Baba's service. So real sadhak will not use anything for the self. All the time we have seen Brahma Baba, even Dadi Janki, very nice, very good. Keep it for a while, that gift. And after 2 days she said, no, give. Other sisters say, but we don't get things like that. We want to keep. She said, no. Because she knows it's not necessary here. Why we are holding to it. You have to accept it, but then on the other side you say, no, let it be used. Who can use it properly, then I hold something. You remember the story, Dadi Janki says that she will be in Bombay and she will walk half of the way and take bus half of the way, so she can spend half of the money. So in sadhana, a part of sacrifice is also necessary. Any time you get chance to sacrifice, you should be happy to do it because that gives a lot of plus marks. It's not I get it, I do it, I am the one, no. Let it be shared, let it go into unlimited, let everyone take it. I always get it, what's there. So deeply within, knowing that there is one word called Siddhi. Siddhi means, they say those who do sadhana, those people are called Siddh people, they are very popular. That means they think things are done, they say it's done, they look at anywhere it happens, like they feel they have that power because of their sadhana. So a lot of powers come through sadhana. Anything you sacrifice, your simplicity of life or your bhavana or your renunciation, whatever element you use in sadhana, there will be some accomplishment. But for us, there's nothing I want for the self. Whatever is there, okay, it's used for service. So always remember not to depend on anything, dependency of any kind. Last night, we were asked to watch something. ABC has created a film called Last Days of the Earth, and they were showing on 2020. And it's like they're saying that how human intelligence in technology will become super intelligence, and how super intelligence people will be guided by that, or in the end will be destroyed by that. I mean, most of the accidents of aeroplanes, most of the things which happen are really from super intelligence. A little mistake happen, or even traffic light means it's very important. I remember that when in India, when I was young, we had traffic policemen, right? Who used to say, go here, go here. We never had traffic lights, which are very good, very useful. Otherwise, how will this man be able to do it? But one time it happened that this light was not changing for a long time. So either there were accidents or people were just sitting. And when you are at airports, sometimes in some of the airports you feel that even for a 1 minute, if the generators doesn't come out when there is blackout, where will you be? Especially now, we had a very simple terminal in New York for American Airlines. Very simple. Now they have you go down, then go up, then go down. Very, very high levels. And then, of course, there are stairs. So everything what is happening with technology, so they're showing that it was like several elements for destruction, and one of that was super intelligence of the technology will become the cause of destruction for people. Like today, calculator. I am too shy to say, I don't know to use calculator. Honestly, I am not a technological person, and that's why maybe Baba put me into IT so that I at least smell something. When Brother Rick, first time he wanted to start website 10 years ago, now you have so many, they had big mouse at that time. She said, just press it. And I was so scared. I don't know what's going to happen. He said, it's easy, just do like this, But now what happened? Calculate little bit, you sit with calculator. Well, we can count 100,000s without mistake. Telephone numbers. I still remember all centers' telephone numbers. But they say, let's go in memory. Let's go in memory. And they asked me, you still remember number of queens? You still remember? I said, yeah, I had been tiling, so I remember. Don't have to go into memory. So dependency, our brain, everything is like we start depending on technology. It's not we don't need it. It's not useful like website, all this, for service. So service will happen, but But true service will still happen through my attitude. What I am going to do, how I am going to do, that's true service. No? Like some of the opposition happened. As soon as I hear it, and they asked me to comment, I said, Brahma Baba, what did he do? How much was he defamed? And when he became awake, same night, what did he say? Those who defame you are your true friends. That's the last days Baba's versions were, that they are your true friends. Because one day they are the ones who will also glorify you. And it did happen. They say journalist here, first media conference happened in 1983. So Jagdish Bhai and myself, we were conducting press conference. There were 80 journalists. And they wouldn't let Jagdish Bhai speak. They had so many questions. They were throwing out things like, and now they have here 2,000 journalists come and they're just listening. Such a difference I remember from first press conference. And now, the media, national television, and recently Jayantivan had a big thing on national television. They are ready to do anything. Live broadcast of their programs nationally. This is coming from tapasya, this is coming from... So even the sadhan, even the devices will be appropriately used if our sadhana is good. But if I get impatient, if I get aggravated, if I get what will happen, subtle fears, what will happen? Truth will be revealed, no? This is the time for truth to be revealed. Baba used to tell us through Dadi Gulzar that whenever a situation comes, that's the time glory has to happen, but you all get scared. Whenever the biggest obstacles came in yajna, there was a bigger victory which had to come. I can tell you so many examples in yajna, the biggest obstacles whenever it came. Baba used to say, this is the time to serve. Let's say if I am going for visa, to get my visa. I get it, somebody gets it. But when I don't get, then I go. Now they have made it like you have to go personally. So I went to all Trinidad, Guyana, every embassy I went, and that was day of Rakhi. So they were waiting, oh, Sister Mohini is coming, she will tie Rakhi. So one of the ambassador was Muslim. He said, my wife is Hindu, and I know about Rakhi. So I said, if I would have not to go, who will tie Rakhi? So every time when things doesn't work, there is service in it. No? So I just want to share two blessings. When I first came to yajna in the beginning, there used to be Vishwakishore, Bhau Vishwakishore, elder brother. And so I was leaving, so he came to train station. At that time, these dadas, and they used to come and receive us. And he said, whenever there is obstacle or difficulty, you should be very happy. I said, why? He said, because that's how your tapasya, your remembrance and power of yoga will increase, and you will see the magic of that. And then when I was in front of Baba, Baba told me, in soul consciousness, wherever you will go, that was his first, no one will be able to say no to you for anything. So I am from Mount Abu, Vadhuban, I have this blessing. At train station, I have a different, but I kept both. And no one can say no. Anytime I go, I know work will be done. I never believe in that it won't happen, never. I remember Baba's blessing. And second, then when it's obstacle or there is difficulty, then also I immediately say, oh, something great has to happen. Because we are so scared, we are so careful, so drama and Baba pushes us to do things. What we won't say because we are polite, gentle, yukti yug, others will say it, and then we say, oh, this is not the right, but that's right too. So it's like there shouldn't be any So sadhan means comforts, facilities, devices, instruments. But what has to govern our lives and our service is our sadhana. And really, since last night when Dadi Gulzar told us about 8 hours, I'm asking each one, those of who are sitting, and we're finding there is a tension. I want to make it my 8 hours of yoga. Somebody said, but there's so much to do. I said, I feel it's lack of attention. We can definitely make it. It's not sitting and doing 8 hours of yoga, but we can definitely here, few drops, few minutes, if we pay attention. And very good thing she said that because it's like at the center, if all instruments have that aim, the atmosphere will be so powerful that all the obstacles, sanskars, clashes, relationships, said it will go in the flame. You don't will have to deal with it. But you all are dealing with it because there's not enough power of yoga or enough yoga to create such atmosphere at the center. And I really thought that that's something we all should keep with ourselves. So this is how the sadhana, and wherever as much is needed, we use the sadhana also. But that's also for Baba's service. But keep ourselves very, very much independent, interdependent, but not dependent. And for anything. Many times you should just say, no, today I'm going to just be on fruits. Today I'm going to just a very minimum. Today I'm going to just have, for anything you find, just create some discipline, create some kind of values. So from time to time, these 10 elements which I said, you might have to empower those elements so that your sadhana. So last two words comes for sadhana means merged or focus. When you look at a sadhak, he's not here, he's merged in God's love, in self-respect, into inner treasures, but is seen as merged. And sadhak definitely is consistent, very consistent. So these were my thoughts on sadhana, and always remind yourself that, as Baba said, you are not yogi for 1 hour, 2 hours, but you are yogi for 24 hours. Same is sadhana. My sadhana, I am a sadhak. People are amazed to see how much technology we are using now. On one side. On the other side, our communication, real true communication happens if we are in soul consciousness. If I say something in soul consciousness, you receive. The beautiful, because then you understand. You might not understand through emails, you might not understand. There could be a lot of misunderstanding, but the true communication happens in soul consciousness. In Golden Age, how Baba says, through eyes you communicate. A lot of communication happens through eyes. So we should elevate our sadhana more and more, so that even we are using sadhana, but we don't get dependent on that. Right? It's clear? I saw someone raised hand and I didn't stop because I wanted to kind of finish. Huh? I did answer, okay. So that's called communication, no? Anywhere Dadi Janki and we travel, people say, this is the class exactly we needed. How do you come to know? Every time they ask us, I said, I don't know. We sit here, we remember Baba, and thoughts come and we start speaking. And souls, like Baba said, this is what they needed, so you speak like that. And people are amazed. 1 hour you talk, 2 hours we talk. But we have people who 20 minutes they have to talk, how much they have to prepare, how much they are nervous, how much they use their notes. So really each one of us in that sadhana should just pay little bit more attention, and I think we will be ourselves have a lot of contentment, and Baba will also be pleased, plus the task will be accomplished. Dadi Gulzar said there is no other way that God's task will accomplish, is only through our power of yoga, through our sadhana. That's what we have to remember. I think Dadi Janki is about to come and connect meditation and have class also. Has she come? Silence and surrender. Means silence brings lot of realizations, and one of the part of surrender is letting go to know. Because holding something and then surrendering it, so that aspect is also very important, because silence brings lot of realizations, and silence fulfills lot of inner needs. So you feel like surrender, as if you don't need anything, nothing belongs to you. That experience of surrender becomes very natural if there is true silence, because you are able to let go, you are able to inner fulfillments, which are very important. And when you have inner fulfillments, you really don't need anything. It's like a surrender kind of feeling. Okay, Om Shanti.